I wanted to bring in our consigliere.
Oh, really?
Denise Howell from This Week in Law. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Leo. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Denise.
Two of my favorite women here, right here. I love working with the both of you. Denise, of course, talks about legal issues all the time, and there's a legal issue I've been following that I wanted to get an update on, and that is the rights to Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday.
So,
the song.
The song, Happy Birthday. When you go to a restaurant, often, instead of singing Happy Birthday, they will do something like this.
Hola. Yeah. It's your birthday. We're here to party and sing to you.
That's not...
It's from me. Hope you are bueno.
That's not the Happy Birthday song you know and sing at home.
Right.
And in fact, in movies a lot, they'll sing For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Denise, what's going on?
What's going on is there is a copyright dispute about the song Happy Birthday. Believe it or not, it might seem like possibly the most public domain thing you could imagine, right? Everyone sings Happy Birthday. It's been around forever. Well, there's a lawsuit pending that is trying to establish that Warner Chappell, which
claims
it holds the copyright and gets to collect license fees whenever someone...
Not insignificant ones,
Yeah.
like $1,500. If we sang it on this show, it'd cost us more than $1,000.
Oh.
That's right.
If they catch us.
Yes,
So
TV
this is...
and film are really the problem spots. Radio stations already pay to be able to play Warner Chappell's catalog.
So your ASCAP
Happy Birthday
BMI
is in.
license counts for Happy Birthday.
Yes.
And do restaurants count in this because it's a profitable enterprise and they're using the song to make profit? Is that the differentiation as to why the copyright is applied in some instances?
Yes, technically, Warner Chappell could go to anyone that they feel is profiting out of using Happy Birthday and demand a license fee, but they do that only selectively.
So
it's
you're
really film and TV that are in their crosshairs.
You're safe singing it at home.
Yes, absolutely.
So a producer made a film about the Happy Birthday song, which was originally written, I think, by two school teachers. They didn't write the music, right?
One of them did.
One of them did.
Well, that's an issue in the lawsuit. The lawsuit is very convoluted. There's a whole historical saga that is playing out in the factual statements of the legal papers. And there are different takes on where the music came from, whether it's in the public domain. I think it's the music itself is, I think, pretty commonly thought to be in the public domain, but it's not a certainty. The plaintiffs in the case claim that the Good Morning to You song that
Good
shares
morning to you.
That was the original.
So it was a kindergarten song, and then these two school teachers wrote the lyrics, but they wrote the lyrics in the 19th century, right?
One of them did, yes. Patty Mills and her sister Mildred in Kentucky were teaching kindergarten. And one of them either composed or arranged all the music for the songs that they put together, and the other one did the lyrics. And the first version of the lyrics they did was Good Morning to You, but eventually they started using other lyrics, and Patty and her students, it's not quite clear whether it was Patty or the students or collaboratively came up with the lyrics to Happy Birthday to You. So they're trying to iron all this out in a lawsuit. And really, I've got to step back and just say, what an amazing thing that this lawsuit is even happening, right? I mean, you talked about, yes, it could be a lot of money if you use the song, but here the documentary filmmaker Jennifer Nelson, who's making the movie about the very interesting story of this song and its copyright, has paid $1,500 to Warner Chappell. That's what she's suing to get back. Also,
how interesting. By the way, they've made a little more than that. Millions a year, it's estimated, right?
Right. Warner Chappell, it's estimated, makes about $2 million a year on the song. They acquired the rights in 1988. And that cost them $25 million. So they've if you think they've been earning that much money every year, and who knows, they've about doubled their money.
Wow.
It's not a good song.
But it's
I like the one you played.
it's
Actually
tradition.
better. That one's
And
good.
you kind of want, if you're in a movie, it's like when the movies have the phone number 555 something.
1212.
Yeah, it's like, you know, that's a fake number, and it kind of takes you out of the movie. When they sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow or this mariachi song, it takes you out of the, it's like, you know why? They're cheap.
Right.
Right.
So
right.
what?
It's,
So
it's
she's
become a joke.
Yeah.
So
Right.
bringing this to the
show
fore was just
Community
the documentary,
to the
Denise?
spot. Sorry.
Explain this to me. What brought this to the fore was just the documentary?
Well, she's suing him. She wants her
suing-
money back. The
And-
funniest thing is a loophole. The thing that they now, by the way, it's very important. We'll get to this, what the status is right now. But my understanding from reading this is that the loophole is, in the old days, like the 30s, if you publish something without a copyright on it, it put it in the public domain. Nowadays, that's not true. Anything you make is copyright automatically. But in that era, if there were no copyright, it's in the public domain. And Warner Chappell all this time has had a songbook. They delivered it in Discovery with a little smudge. But apparently there was a printed songbook, what was it, the 30s, that had no copyright.
1927 was the version that was produced in Discovery. I think it was produced June in the case, as the parties were briefing and getting ready to argue summary judgment motions. And the discovery of the 1927 songbook led the plaintiffs to start doing some research, and they found a version from, I think it's 1921 or 1922. I'm getting confused with all the dates here.
Predating the copyright law.
Yeah, predating the copyright that Warner Chappell claims, which was 1935. And in the earlier version, it was published with a copyright notice that said, by special permission of the rights holder. It did, in other words, it didn't comply with all the notice requirements that you just mentioned that used to. Yeah. So if this was published as is, the plaintiffs argue, way back before they sold their copyright to the predecessor of, or they registered the copyright that Warner Chappell now claims, this song would already be in the public domain because they didn't comply with the requirements of the law.
So all those people who've paid $1,500 to use it
They
over
get their money
time
back?
could sue and get their money back?
That's what they're suing for. The plaintiffs in this case are very aggressive. They're not, and they've been very successful on some things that really surprise me. They, first of all, the fact that this case exists at all surprises me, right? This is $1,500 that the plaintiffs are suing over personally for themselves. So this is clearly a matter of principle for them.
It's got to cost them a lot more than that to pursue this.
Right. Then they crossed the big hurdle of getting this case designated a class action so that others who have been in a similar situation.
Here you go. Here's a penny for you. And here's a penny for you.
Right.
Anybody else singing
Class
Happy
action.
Birthday? Did you ever pay Warner Chappell? Anybody? I got a quarter here. So it won't be a lot of money, but maybe it'll cost Warner Chappell a lot of money. My question is, have they decided this yet?
Have not. So
When?
both parties are moving for summary judgment, which is a way to get the judge to decide the case before it ever goes to a jury. Both parties are asking, you should grant summary judgment, Your Honor, in our favor.
Right.
So this new evidence will come in and be part of the judge's consideration, and the judge is going to have to decide whether there are issues of law that dispose of the case. If so, then maybe the judge can rule and prevent a trial. And if there are issues of fact that support all that are undisputed, because if there's any dispute about a material issue of fact, then it has to go to the jury. We won't find out. We won't have a ruling on at this stage.
Well, there's a reason I asked you. About 4 days ago, a good friend of this show, he'd appeared on the original Screensavers a few times. I've known him well, love him. I think anybody who's in the computer industry knows and loves Steve Wozniak. He passed a milestone birthday, his 65th birthday, and I really wanted to sing Happy Birthday to you, Woz, dressed in his favorite costume. But since we can't, let's bring in the mariachis, and we'll all sing Happy Birthday to Woz. Denise Howell, thank you so much. This Week in Law, everybody should watch it. And I'm sure we'll have a big announcement at some point. We all have the screen.